All right, sorry about that. I think I have everything figured out now. So this won't be 19 different clips of me, but we'll see. So I ended with Frank bringing up the neuroses. Hopefully you watched that little short 2-minute and 53-second video. I'm gonna try to make sure they're all titled correctly and in order. So yeah, but like I said, he brings it up like as part of the character that he is, not as any real dig into how to change himself. Just like, and he's using it as an excuse. But when she said, "Why did you?" she's not talking about why did you cheat on me. She's saying, why did you tell me? And I think I'm gonna save talking about that too much. I wanna make that one of the discussion questions that I'll post on Moodle. And I think, I mean, the answer is sort of in the text itself, and it's, you know, fairly obvious. But I'd like for you guys to explore that and just the psychology of Frank sort of going to that admission. Because remember, after he'd slept with not slept, but bedded Marine Grube the first time, he was taking a shower and thought about admitting to it then. And he's like, no, why would I ever do that? And here, it just sort of comes out. So it's sort of interesting that it comes out when it does. So let's save that for a question. Anyway, he's like, they go back and forth. She says, I don't feel anything. He says, I want you to. I want you to feel something. And therein lies their problem. And she knows it. She says, I know you do. I suppose I would if I loved you, but you see, I don't. I don't love you. I never really have. And I never really figured it out until this week. And that's why I just as soon not do any talking right now. Do you see? Now, this cuts not only to the moment, but it goes all the way back to his green light, to her telling him that he's the most interesting man she's ever met. And his whole world is shaken now, because that's what he always, you know, sort of fell back on when he needed it, when he needed to draw reserves from nostalgia and the false past. He would go there to that time on Bethune Street whenever she told him she loved him so much, just a week after they'd met. In the background, then we hear ads for shit. It's Great Connection by Yates. He has this paragraph of April just saying these brutally honest things to Frank. And in the background here, like, during the fall clearance, you'll find entire stock of men's walk shorts and sport jeans drastically reduced. Walk shorts and sport jeans. Yeah, we'll see if those things come back. Anyway, it's just this sort of a malaise of American existence sort of wrapped up there at this point. Anyway, he looks down at the table, and then finally he wheels back around and he ends the chapter with the line, "You know goddamn well you love me." Then chapter 5, actually do a little flashback or a little time travel. We go about 15 minutes before, or a little bit longer, than all this happens. But the Givings, they're on their way to see Frank and April. And they've had a day they've been able to check out John from the from Green Acres. Wait, am I wrong? Is that the name of it? I've got it. Anyway, I think it is. I've read this too many times. Now I'm thinking Green Acres is the TV show, but whatever the case, she checks him out, and the whole way there, she's pointing out things. The lovely old silo. She's trying to defer or to sort of deny John the opportunity to pick at the fact that she's told them that the Wheelers aren't going to move to Europe. And John, of course, is the type of person to ask a question when he hears something strange and that seems off, because they'd planned to go and he liked them. Remember, he's the one who said he was really admired Frank and April both, and the hopeless emptiness thing. Of course, that freaked out Frank, but nonetheless, so yeah, he snaps at her a little bit. It's a lovely old silo, Ma. It's lovely about the Wheelers, and you're a lovely person. Then they get to the house, and Mrs. Givings is already anxious because of John and how he's acting, and then her anxiety just compounds because they get to the kitchen door. Now remember, the stone path, the whole idea was to lead people away from the kitchen entrance to the front entrance, to where the picture window is, to where you can put on a mask to face the world, the other people out there, and you can kind of put on an act, and that doesn't allow it. And this is like the most, I mean, several of you mentioned this too, or somebody mentioned in the Moodle discussion about how like Frank like is exposed whenever early on when Givings visits. He's unshaven, he's in his